Hi, this is Anthony from West Coast Custom Concrete, Bobcat Service, and Concrete Pumping. This video is going to be on how to demo and put in a grade beam on post-tension slab. Here we are demoing the concrete out. We had the slab x-rayed and they marked where the post-tension is. Post-tension is cables, stainless steel cables going through the concrete. It's similar grade and idea of rebar, but they tighten it hydraulically, so they're like steel cables. But if you cut one of them, you can have a serious problem. It costs like a couple $1,000s to fix the tendon. It's a grid like rebar, and you gotta chip it around and expose it and see where it's at, and then chip around it and be really careful. What a grade beam is? It's a footing component of a foundation. It consists of reinforced concrete beam, is what it is, and it transmits the load from a bearing wall. They use it in conditions like when the surface soil load bearing capacity is less than what they anticipated the load design load is going to be. So they'll put a grade beam on there, and they'll shift the load onto that footing. What it is, it's a footing, and you connect it to the existing footing, and you dowel it in with rebar, whatever the plans say, number 3, 4, or 5, and you epoxy it. Here's one of the tendons here. It's just a stainless steel cable with a plastic on it, and you do not want to break one of those. What happened? They you don't want to saw cut it either. You want to pot it out with a jackhammer and be really careful in like the middle of the square, because they'll X-ray it and they'll mark right where it is, but they can't always get them right, because there was one next to one of these tendons that they said wasn't there, and there was one next to that tendon on the left there. There's another one next to it. And we had a cold water and hot water line running through the slab too. We had to be really careful of. I mean, this whole thing was ready for a disaster with these lines. And that tendon right there, they didn't, when they x-rayed it, they didn't, they said it was an empty line there. So you just got to be really careful. Just chipping away. I mean, this was a total nightmare. There's the other tendon next to it. It should be like a rebar grid, but they put two back to back right there. See, the other side doesn't have it. There's a hot and cold. We had to put the rebar in. We had to drill down through the existing footing, which was only like 6, 7 inches thick, to put the anchor bolts in, and they'll be down into the concrete. And then when you pour the concrete in there, it'll connect the wall to the concrete footing. The anchor bolts there, they'll just thread down onto it. Here we are pumping the concrete in there. The plans called for 2,500 psi, but we use 4,500 straight cement, no fly ash, because this ground is built on a marsh in Huntington Beach, and when we opened this up, it rained for a couple of days, and that hole filled up halfway with water. We had to vacuum it out before we pumped it, so we just used the waterproofing agent and the 4,500, and then poured it a little bit thicker, so it'll come out a little bit better than what they engineered it at. Thank you very much for watching the video. Like and subscribe.